Welcome to another video. I'm just gonna run and I'm going to answer some basic running questions to help get you started, or if you don't know how to start this thing called running. In this video, I'm just gonna make it very simple, how to get started, answer some basic questions, and let's get started, shall we? So first of all, if you can't run, if you haven't run for a long time, if you never ran, just start with walking. We can all do this. Walk. Get into the rhythm of putting one foot in front of the other. Don't jump into running all of a sudden if you haven't prepared your body to do this first, because what you're gonna notice, first you need to harden your legs. If you've never ran on, for example, concrete, like I'm running on right now, this is gonna be very taxing on your legs. You're gonna feel the vibration of the road. So you need to get used to running on this kind of surface. And the only way to do that is to harden your legs. And when I say harden, I'm saying get your bones, get your muscles used to the shock of placing one foot in front of the other, like I'm doing right now. So that's the first step, just hardening your legs. And it will take some time. So if you can't do it in your first session, don't worry, just walk. Ideally, we want to be running for about an hour. I know some of you that you want to be marathon runners. Well, I personally don't want to be a marathon runner because those people look too skinny and they just overdoing it. That's not the kind of body I want. I just want a fit, ripped, shredded body for summer. And I find that just doing a maximum of 1 hour of cardio per session is enough for me. In my mind, the sweet spot is around 60 minutes. So that's what I try to aim for. If you can't run your way all the way, then just mix it up with walking if you can. What kind of gear do you need? I'm wearing tank top because it's hot, shorts, sunglasses because it's sunny, but it's nighttime actually. It's actually 7 p.m. right now, so I'm getting ready for the sun to go down. So that's why I'm wearing night sunglasses. As you can see, I can see you, you can see my eyes. So night sunglasses just help me see better, help me see all the details of where I'm running, in case I step onto something that I don't know what I'm stepping on. I'm usually wearing a portable MP3 player around my neck. Don't carry your smartphone on your shoulder. That's just too bulky and you'll be tempted to answer phone calls, check it. I don't want any distractions when I'm running. So instead, download my podcast music onto the MP3 player, wear it around my neck, and then just run with it. If you want to know what MP3 player I use, click the link down below this video. Very important, you need some running shoes. Not just any running shoes, shoes that fit your type of feet. So everybody's feet are different. So make sure you go to a running shop or somebody that can measure or take a look at your feet and see what kind of foot shape you have, and then determine what kind of shoe fits best for your type of feet. A lot of people, they just pick whatever shoe they want off the shelf, not knowing that that shoe's shape is not meant for their feet. Also important, make sure that you get insoles. Insoles that are catered for runners. I didn't know this for a fact, but you can get insoles that absorb the shock as you run. So a lot of them have a hardened plastic inside, or just that framing that can help absorb the shock. Lastly, get some running socks. Don't wear dress socks, don't wear casual socks. Wear running socks because they are meant for running and they help to absorb the sweat as you run. So you have all your gear, you have to decide where to run. Now for me, I recommend all my students to run in parks and trails. Why? Because parks and trails, they have the best ground for running in my opinion, because there's a lot of rock, a lot of gravel, a lot of grass and debris that help disperse the shock. Whereas concrete is just hard as nails. So you really have to develop your tolerance for the shock. Like I said, harden your legs for running. So a lot of people, they feel it in their knees, they feel it in their shins, their whole body aches after a run when they've never run before. That happens because, again, you have to build up the tolerance. So it will take about, I would say, 2 weeks. After you get over that hump, you'll notice that the shock is not so noticeable. I'm running on an empty road right now. So I chose this spot because I don't want to contend with cars or traffic or other people. I want the road all to myself. You can do this in a park, or you can do this on an empty road like this. This to me is much better because you don't have to worry about variables such as things you have to avoid as you're running. And it's a lot more difficult when you have music or stuff that you're listening to. So you might become distracted. You have to be aware of your surroundings. Places not to run, stay away from treadmills. They are expensive, they take up too much space, too much electricity, and they are basically a simulation of what I'm doing, what I'm showing you right now. Treadmills are to be avoided at all costs. They are so boring. You don't need to go to a gym that has one. This is much better, and it's free here. Other places to avoid, stay away from track and field. Track and field is one giant loop. Again, it's good for the feet because it's better shock absorption, but you're competing with other teams, other people using the track, and it gets boring going around in a loop after a while. So I would rather be on an open road like this, where my environment keeps changing and I have to keep adapting. Things I have to pay attention to on the ground. Last time I was running here, there was a whole bunch of slugs just lying down on the road because it rained a few hours ago. So things like that makes your run more interesting. Now, what about breathing? To me, nostril breathing is the best form of breathing. The best way to receive oxygen is through the nose, and then exhale through the mouth. If you try to do mouth breathing, I feel it's pretty shallow, pretty limited. Again, I'm a swimmer, so I know this for a fact. When you swim, you breathe through your mouth, and you exhale through your mouth and nose. But for running, breathing through your nose is much better. I'm going to switch to this trail here because I just found it. This is just me adapting to my surroundings. Okay, so you'll notice the floor is more forgiving. This is a lot easier to run on. So start with park trails like this, and you might encounter fun things along the way. So I want you to pay attention to my form. So you notice that I'm holding a key right now because I'm not wearing a hip pouch like some others recommend you to wear. So what I did was I drove to this particular location, put my wallet and keys in my car, except for the main key that opens the car, and I just carry it like this. A lot of people will recommend wearing a hip pouch. Again, I don't like anything wrapped around my waist as I run, or something that jingles or jangles. But I just don't want to carry things. I don't need to carry a smartphone. I don't need to carry a wallet. I don't need to carry keys, except for this key. I just carry it in my hand. I don't want it bouncing around in my pocket, and there's a chance you might lose your keys, might fall out of your pocket, you never know. Then you have to run back and try to find it. So just hold it in my hand, palm. It's a good thing to grab onto as well, because, you know, when you're running, your hand is basically looking like this. It's not holding on to anything. So this gives me something to hold on to. And look at my arm right now. You notice that my palm is facing down. You see a lot of people, they run like this. This is good for sprinting, but for jogging or running, palm down is better. So I'm throwing my hand in a 45-degree slash. So it looks like this as I run. Now, play around with your hand position. Some people, they run naturally like this. Some people, they just run static like this. I've tried both. They don't feel good on me. So I find that this is the most natural swing for my arm. And you'll notice that when you brisk walk, most of us are doing this. 45-degree slash and throw it behind you. My arm is loose, not tight, just relaxed. And it's assisting each thrust of my feet forward, okay? So every time I throw one foot in front of me, my whole body assists. Whole body goes into that leap and my arm assists. So I'm not making giant steps with my feet. You don't need to. Tiny little steps. The most important thing is to be consistent. So a lot of beginners, they really stretch their legs out too much, or they put too much energy in the first 20 minutes. No. You want to preserve your energy to last you 60 minutes at least. So the way to stretch that out is to be consistent. That means taking your speed down a little. This is my way of scouting new areas. Just go for a run. What's the most important thing when it comes to running? Consistency. In order to maintain this for long periods of time, we need everything working together in balance. So every arm throw, every foot forward, every breath has to be synchronized. Just like a machine. Once you speed it up or slow it down too much, then you throw off the balance. And then, yeah, you run out of gas or you get injured. You never know what you're going to encounter as you run. I've run into so many rabbits, squirrels, or things running around between these bushes. Just jump out, startled, back on the trail. Something about the air in forests. It's just a whole nother level. It's not what you're used to breathing when you're in the city or cooped up in your room. Should you run with a partner? I've seen people do it. I don't really feel the need, because at the end of the day, you're competing with yourself as you run. You're not going to be able to hold a conversation like this, like I'm doing with you. In the long run, running is a solo journey of self-discovery. But if you want to be safe, especially if you're a woman, yeah, run with a partner. But you're not going to be doing a lot of chatting. I hope this video has helped. Again, rewatch it. Let the information soak in. And if you really want to learn how to run, get in shape this summer and just learn how to do this activity or other ways of losing weight, such as using weights or using a jump rope, then I have a course for you called The Vault. The Vault is a private membership area. You sign up, you get access to all of these courses that I laid out. So we have a course on running, a course on jump rope, a course on how to work out at home. All of these things I can teach you if you have access to The Vault. So I definitely recommend that you sign up, check out the 7-day free trial that you get instant access to, so you don't have to pay anything, and see if it's right for you. Definitely encourage you to run, give it a try. It's the king of cardiovascular fitness. If you're serious about getting ripped, getting in shape, and performing anything that requires stamina, do what I'm doing, okay? Start running now. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, hit the bell, bing, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.